Last time we talked, I was telling you about how much or how little investing will hurt your wallet. Now that you know what it takes to get in the game, we can talk about the future. When to pay taxes, automated investing, and measuring returns. I'm Savanna Taylor, and today's Financial Literacy 101 lesson is all about planning ahead. In the United States, it's a given that there's no free lunch. Pretty much any time money changes hands, you've got to pay taxes. Buying clothes, taxes. Get a job, taxes. Win the lottery, taxes. Taxes, 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 taxes. For now, let's focus on income taxes. When you make money from a job, from working, you chisel off a piece for the government. How much you chisel off depends on how much you expect to make in a year. After the government takes their cut, you get a lump of money. Once you get your cash, you can invest in anything you want. One of the most common investment vehicles are individual retirement accounts, or IRAs. But a traditional IRA is different than most other investments. A traditional IRA uses the money you make before the government takes their cut. In other words, a traditional IRA reduces the amount you pay in taxes right now. Like I said earlier, no free lunch, so that money will still get taxed, but not until you start withdrawing money, which sounds nice, but also a little risky. What if taxes go up a lot before I retire?
And who knows what the tax rates are going to be like when you retire. On the other hand, if you choose a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA, you will not get a deduction today. But when you eventually take your money out, and remember, we have no idea where the tax rates will be high or low, but they will come out tax-free.
That's easy to remember. A Roth IRA gets taxed right now, but a traditional IRA gets taxed in the future. Most people in the academic world believe that tax rates are only going up. Today is a great time to make money, so that means it's a great time to save money in a Roth IRA. Then take it out tax-free after you retire. What's another reason to go for a Roth IRA? Government restrictions. The U.S. government mandates that traditional IRAs start being paid out once you reach retirement age. Right now, that's 70. Roth IRAs, on the other hand, have no requirements to withdraw.
And by the way, with a Roth 401k or IRA, you don't have to take distributions when you finally reach age 70 and a half. You can let that money stay in there and grow and compound tax-free and leave it to your children. I mean, it's a great estate planning tool if you qualify. Now, if you want to learn more about this topic, there's a lot to learn, and I would suggest a great source is go to Vanguard Mutual Funds, and go to the section on Roth IRAs and Roth 401ks so you can learn all of the intricacies about those particular tax benefits.
Thanks, Paul. Now that we get how a retirement account is taxed, let's think about how we can take the emotion out of investing. One of the strangest things that humans can do can be seen investing. When we see a bunch of people pile onto something, we want to be a part of it. This happens with investments too. If we see the market is doing well, we want to buy because we'll think we can make money. And the opposite is true too. When the market turns down, we get scared and pull our money out of fear of losing it. But this is so backwards. When a company or fund or even the whole market isn't doing well, that means prices are lower than ever before. We should be buying. It's like top ramen being on sale. Clear the shelves! And when the market is doing well, when prices are up, we should sell. If you had a bookshelf full of old DVDs and the prices were rising until they were worth $100 a piece, you wouldn't buy more, would you? You'd sell. But let's be careful because you can't tell when the market is going to go up or down. You might be missing out on major opportunities if you try to time your investments.
Fortunately, there is an answer to this problem, and it's mechanical, and that is called dollar cost averaging. So that every month, just like a 401k plan, you're putting that money in. Doesn't matter whether the market is up or down, you're investing $100 or $400, whatever it is. And when the market is down, you will buy more shares. When the market is up, you will buy fewer shares. And all of the studies indicate that almost without exception, there are a few exceptions, but almost without exception, the people who dollar cost average are the ones who make the most money. So what's the possibilities of a combination of index funds and dollar cost averaging with the tax protection of a 401k or a Roth 401k? Are you starting to get a sense of how combining these things that we're learning here to put together in kind of your ultimate portfolio can all be built to your advantage?
Now we've learned a lot about investments, but how do we measure investments in the real world? It wouldn't make sense to guess how they're doing in the future. No one knows how anything is going to shake out over the next 12 months. So let's look backwards. But not just 1 year. A lot can change in 1 year, and you're not investing for 1 year either, so think about how long you expect to keep your money in a fund. Probably until you retire. 20, 30, 40 years? When you're browsing for a place to park your cash, look back at least 20 years. Anything less than that is meaningless.
And by the way, we don't just want to be looking at the upside. When we are looking at the history of investments, I want to see what the downside looks like as well, because we as investors are going to have to be willing to accept the downside. And if we can't accept the downside, guess what? We're going to bail out, and we're going to be somebody who sits in money market funds wondering, what do I do next?
What can we conclude from today's talk of financial literacy? First off, it's good to understand when and how your savings will be taxed. Most of the time, it's better to take the tax hit right now when you know how much it'll be and withdraw at your leisure from a tax-free account. Next, don't try to time the market. Set up mechanical investments where you invest the same amount every month. It's like diversifying, but over time. Some months you'll buy high and others low, but overall your average will grow. Lastly, we talked about the importance of keeping the big picture in mind. When you're looking at the data, look for long-term gains. And don't trust someone's word, look for the cold, hard data. Thanks for watching. I'm Savanna Taylor, and this has been Financial Literacy 101.